I don't have a clever opening to this one, Jack. I'm,
Um,
I'm
Sorry.
tired. I'm sore. I'm annoyed. It's going to be a great show. Guys, this is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing. I can't walk around my room with my headphones on anymore. I was playing a video game with Satsu the other day and I need to use the restroom. So I get up and apparently my foot got wrapped in the cord to my headphones. And Satsu got to hear me fall live. It was nice. I fell right on my left elbow, which my elbow's fine, but it jolted my neck really bad. So sleep has been, let's call it fleeting. But other than that, I've been very, very good.
Well, stop living in a Final Destination movie, and maybe you'll live longer.
I just need to know how many other people are in the movie, so how many more have to die before it's my turn.
Oh, that's a good question, but you're not allowed to know, apparently.
Before the show, thank you, Wolfgang, who says, Sup, Monk? Apparently my grandma died, but I don't trust my dad. Is that some shit your family would lie about?
I've seen weird shit, so maybe.
You know, every so often I hear about other families, and I'm just even more thankful for mine than I normally am.
Right.
But he goes, I don't trust my dad, and it seems like a lie. Regardless, she is in a better place. My uncle still was at home, and the place looked like hoarders, so RIP. Oh, damn. Sorry to hear about your grandma. I really am.
Yeah, man. Sorry. If it ends up being a murder, though, make sure to say hi to us on Investigation Discovery because we'll probably be watching that.
Don't go on that show. Go on 48 Hours. It's a better show.
yeah, it's true.
Although they give away I like the ones that are actually a mystery, but 48 Hours always starts like, this is the guy who did it. Now we're going to tell you how he denied it the whole time.
Yeah. Dateline is pretty good. Or People Magazine investigates.
Yeah. Frosted, thank you. So Satsu got some Life Alert ASMR. You could say that, yes. Yeah, I also like Law and Crime, a couple of the ones that they do. That's a YouTube channel. I don't know if are they anywhere like on a cable network?
I don't know. They might be.
They do some pretty good ones. I like their Prime Crime series. That's a good one. Although the guy on it, he looks a little bit too much like Dennis from Always Sunny for me to take him seriously. I'm always like, you're probably the one who did
it. Because of the implication?
Because of the implication, indeed. Yeah, so those are my go-tos. I really do like to just throw them on off to the side while I'm doing other shit. And that's why it took me so long to find this video, Jack. We are here tonight to talk about, well, first, thank you to everybody who watched that last stream. That one did very well for us, Jack, and nice comments. One person was like, so you don't read comments? Like, because I didn't respond? I mean, I did. That's the only one I responded to on that.
Did you say no?
I just asked him, who said I don't read comments? But you know, that one did very well for us. So thank you guys. Tonight we're here to talk about the utter chaos that Donald Trump is causing, Jack. It's chaos. That has become their word of the week. It's changing that quickly now because they're desperate to find one to stick.
Yeah.
None of them are really holding for him. So chaos has become the go-to, and it's kind of fucking silly. And I was scrolling YouTube, and for some reason they recommended Late Night with Seth Meyers to me.
Okay.
I may have seen 3 clips of this show since it began. Maybe. Never watched a full episode. I don't really find the guy funny. You know, I was on Frosted's show the other day, and John Oliver came up, and a couple of them were like, he's not funny. Say what you will about John Oliver, but he can deliver a joke. The joke might be shit, but he can sell a joke.
Yeah, he has the skill set, just not the comedy value.
Yeah. This guy, I just don't find funny. But don't worry, guys. We're not really here for him. We're more here for, well, chaos, Jack. He's he's the agent of chaos.
Uh-huh.
Says Trump caves in tariff fight with Canada and Mexico. No, he didn't.
No, he pretty much got what he wanted. They keep trying to dress it up like Canada and Mexico were just like, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. And Trump was like, okay. That's not how that worked.
Yeah, they said that Trump caved with Mexico because Mexico said, well, stop letting assault weapons in. And Trump's like, fine. And then he got everything he wanted. That's called negotiating. And when you get everything you want in a negotiation and all you had to do was say, yeah, we'll stop letting the assault. Obama's not in office anymore. It won't be a big deal. We won't be selling confiscated guns to the cartels, we promise. But anyway, that's how they sucked me into this, Jack, because I saw that and I was like, what the okay, I'll bite. And for the record, I never made it to where they talk about this. I made it to where we're going to make it to tonight. And I just was like, nope, I got to stream about this shit. And that was 3 days ago, guys. I've had a rough few days. It's kind of late, but it was my birthday this past Sunday. And I'd feel greatly blessed if I could get a quick song. Well, emo trash. Is that supposed to be trash?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, I'm just going to call him emo because if it's not trash, I don't want to be calling somebody trash.
That's true.
Emo, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Emo. Happy birthday to you on Sunday. Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one. I really do. Yeah, it's trash. I should have known by the emo name. I hope you did not cut yourself for your birthday.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. But happy birthday. I really do hope you had a good one.
Oh, AP and Leaf are having snotty sex, apparently.
I didn't need to know that.
Well, but we do. So here we are.
Well, I mean, when it comes to lube, you use what you got, right?
That's right.
All right. So let's speaking of snotty, here's Seth Meyers. Which one is it? I don't care.
Who cares? This guy's not funny.
Douchebag McGee. This guy totally would still be wearing turtlenecks if somebody told him not. If somebody didn't tell him not to.
Yeah. Have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
I've seen bits and I've never watched the whole episode.
You know who the characters are?
Not by name.
All right. He reminds me of the main character, the guy with the dark hair, the like socially awkward narrator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of that guy, but more annoying. Like he's gonna start quoting stuff that isn't relevant to the situation and be like, ha ha ha, I'm the genius. I contributed.
The only thing I know about How I Met Your Mother is Allison Hannigan was on it. Because I've had a crush on her for a long time. So I followed her career till she, got old. And that Doogie Howser got a much deserved career boost out of that, which really came from Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, but that was the only interesting part of that show was his character. If it had been more about Barney, I probably would have liked the show. But I never really got into the show. My roommate at the time used to love it, and he would watch it religiously, even repeats. I was like, this show is something entertaining.
You don't see many child actors get a good redo in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And whoever cast him in Harold and Kumar, that was fucking brilliant, and it led to that. And that man is actually funny, and it would have been a damn shame if the world didn't get his comedy side.
Yeah. Look, he was the only good part of that movie too. It's nice to see, but it couldn't save it for me.
That movie is for 13-year-olds and anybody over 13 who's really, really high.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. All right, let's get on to let's hear the big brain over at CBS does Late Show, right? Or is that NBC? I don't care.
Some garbage network.
We're 3 weeks into the Trump presidency, and already he's plunged the entirety.
He sounds like a Krasenstein. A little more masculine, but that is a low fucking bar.
Of the federal government into chaos. And I know you've probably heard the words Trump and chaos in the same sentence many times.
Because we've been preaching it since it came down upon high for us to say Trump and chaos together. It's amazing how dumb they think we are. I know you guys just all started using the same word at the same time, totally coincidentally.
Yeah, and their seal-like audience doesn't pick up on it either. Like, yeah, he's chaos. Ah!
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when they all put the lowercase T and a capital R, so it's Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Trump. We're funny and edgy, man, if we're 60.
Now, the reason we're watching this, Jack, is he's going to show us the chaos.
Oh.
And that's the part that I'm really concerned. I don't care about this asshole. I really don't.
He looks like the church lady right there.
He really does. Or like Rachel Maddow took off her glasses.
Yeah, instead of like, you know how Superman gets like looks different with his glasses off to everybody.
Yeah.
He has the like I look wrinklier without glasses on.
He really does look like he's talking to somebody about feminine itch.
Yeah.
All right.
Over the past 10 years, and maybe you're skeptical. Well, then you tell me, hotshot.
I love what because I cut him off there. You've heard Trump and chaos together a lot in the last 10 years. No, that wasn't the word you guys were using. You guys really went full in on felon not that long ago. You remember that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so here we go.
Mr. Know-It-All. Sorry. You know what? I don't know why I'm getting so aggressive right off the bat. You tell me, dear sir or madam, what, pray tell, would you call this?
The Trump team promised shock and awe to start his second term. 2 weeks.
Propaganda. It's George Stephanopoulos. How much did they settle with the Trump team for?
Wasn't it like 20 million?
Was it? I can't remember if it was 12, 20, 25, somewhere in that neighborhood.
There's a lot of money thanks to Snuffleupagus here.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
Oh, hang on. Thank you, Monkey's Headphones, who says, screw the stairs, I'm your true enemy.
Thank you, Wolfgang. Not sure why chaos is bad when things are getting done. Like I am on board with a lot of the stuff he's hoping to get. Gaza cut federal workers. Yeah, the Gaza thing was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried that he's serious about it because I don't want Americans over in Gaza.
No, nobody else will be there. He said they're going to kick the Palestinians out.
Yeah, make it our naval or our military base for Army and Air Force. Anyway, that's my opinion. Not saying he said that. That's what I would do with it.
I think it's it's one of those things that he's doing to dissuade the Iranians.
Oh yeah,
there's a bunch of Americans right next to Israel, and they try and drop a nuke. That it's an implied threat that it will protect our people.
All right, let's hear these idiots.
Weeks in, the shocks keep coming.
Administration officials have forced out all 6 of the FBI's most senior executives and multiple heads of various FBI fields.
Okay, I just want to keep track of the chaos, okay? So Stephanopoulos didn't actually say anything. He just said the shock is coming. There was no example given. I don't know if you caught that, but as somebody who's, well versed on the way these assholes do propaganda, that jumped right out at me.
Yeah.
Justin, Riley, thank you so much. Before you get too far into this, any thoughts on USA funding feminist frequency, possibly Gamergate? You know the story that I'm guessing that's supposed to be the story that never fucking dies. I hadn't heard about them possibly funding Feminist Frequency.
Yeah,
the
it's
U-
on the list.
The USA aid or the US aid thing we'll get to later. Wolfgang, thank you. Civilians in Gaza, IDE can provide defense, or IDF can provide defense. I mean, I suppose. It's not that I don't want to talk about the US aid thing. We'll get to it. Or there's just so much. I was talking to Lady Monkey about it this morning because she saw a report on CBS News, and I asked her, I said, "Well, what videos did they show with their segment on US aid?" And she said, "Well, they showed, a sick kid somewhere and a hungry kid somewhere, and like nothing about 20 million to Sesame Street in Pakistan, huh? Weird."
Look, those Pakistani kids need that Sesame Street and the LGBT musical.
Need all that shit. Need all of
Yeah.
it.
Totally not a front for the CIA. Nope.
Okay, so anyway, George Stephanopoulos, no examples. Her example is 6 guys got fired out of the FBI. 6. All right.
offices.
Trump fired at least 17 inspector generals.
More than 24
That brings us up to 23 people have been fired. By the way, our government is the largest employer in the entire country. They employ more than Amazon. That's why when they talk about Amazon and used to be Walmart as the largest private employer, because it doesn't even come close to our federal government. 23 people fired. It's chaos. Okay? I forget what Chunky Girl talks about.
federal prosecutors who worked on January 6 cases were fired.
Sparking panic and
Oh yeah, I forget how many that was. Let's say it was 50. I don't remember, and I know it was way less than 50. So at most we're at 73 people right now, Jack. Chaos.
Mass chaos, biblical levels, cats and dogs living together.
The one on the screen right now is the one we saw the other day about FBI officials being told to resign or they're going to be fired. It hasn't even happened yet. So people being told you suck, get out, that's chaos.
inside the Bureau by people who fear retribution by the Trump administration.
More than 1,000 senior civil workers and contractors were fired, furloughed, or placed on leave. USAID's website.
This is because of a specific shutdown. This isn't like they randomly picked 1,000 people. Now 1,000 we're finally getting into something, right? But that's because they were all tied to this money laundering operation.
Site has
Right
been
now,
offline for more than
1,000 years
24
of darkness. 1,000
hours.
Putting a pause on most federal government websites.
The Department of Education.
Not a pause on websites.
Oh no.
24 hours.
Putting a pause on most federal government websites.
The Department of Education. A number of people have been placed on administrative leave.
Several federal agents.
The entire Department of Education needs to go. Just saying. I saw Krasenstein, one of those two idiots, was like, breaking. Donald Trump says he's going to shut down the Department of Education. We told you so. Like, bitch, he told us so.
Yeah, he's been talking about that on the campaign trail, idiot. Where has he been?
That's not even a secret. He had hinted to it in 2017. But no, it's Project 2025.
But they're firing incompetent people, monkey.
You check out the literacy rates since Department of Education became a thing.
But they know how many genders there are.
I'm older than the Department of Education, guys. Just saying, throwing that out there. Because we have this problem in this country where if there's a department or something, like, we can never get rid of that. It's part of it hasn't even been around that long. And it's been a disaster the whole time. Time for it to go.
Agencies were instructed to remove pronouns and in some cases nicknames from their email signature.
The chaos of having to remove the pronouns from your email signature.
How will you know what gender somebody is?
Fuck. This is the kind of shit that's got them upset. You have to remove your pronouns.
But they're not just upset, Monkey. They're scared too. This is a threat on people's lives.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement reported an undisclosed number of arrests in Chicago, with the acting Deputy Attorney General, the Trump ally, Dr. Phil.
President Donald Trump.
I love that Dr. Phil went on one of their raids. I just think that's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Wolfgang, thank you. They don't know how many genders there are. 69? No, I get the joke of the 69, but 87 was the original claim, remember? That's the one that the internet all grabbed onto. That's the one that that one weirdo Milo chick guy thing made her video on.
Yeah. It could be infinite depending on how people feel.
I just want to point out that last part that they talked about of this chaos, Jack, was the police arresting people who should have been arrested already. That's their version of chaos, arresting criminals. And just a reminder, these aren't people who just are here illegally, that otherwise have been perfectly legal all along. They have focused on what the Democrats have said. We need to remove the really bad criminal ones. And then Trump is doing that. Like, how dare you do that? See,
it's true.
That's literally been their talking point all along. I think we should only go after the violent criminals. Homan's been arresting violent criminals, rapists, child molesters, murderers. And they're like, how dare you? How dare you, sir? Those are good, upstanding child rapists.
Well, I mean, the DNC doesn't seem to have too much of a problem with kid diddlers. So
it's so fucking insane. But this is the chaos. See, this is the propaganda bullshit. It's chaos to arrest violent felons.
Did order water released from 2 dams in the Central Valley,
claiming more water would have helped with the LA wildfires.
More water would have helped with the LA wildfires.
That's a shocking claim. Can you back that up? Does water in fact fight fire? Are they natural enemies? That sounds racist.
I'm pretty sure most fire hydrants are filled with kerosene. That's how you put out a fire.
Why can't we all just get along? We need blended neighborhoods of fire and water.
I just love the way he said that. Trump claiming that more water would have helped.
Yeah, well, it's time to desegregate the water from the fire.
How fucking retarded partisan do you need to be making the argument that more water would not have helped?
I don't know, but here we are.
To put out the idea that it's ridiculous that more water would have helped. It's not like they had all the water they could get a hold of and it just wasn't doing the job, so more wouldn't have helped. They literally had none in some spots. All right. But there's more to this. Hang on.
Wasting reservoir supplies that farmers will need later. The water was released into rivers that do not flow to Los Angeles.
I thought
they do know how pipes work, right?
No, bro. Nah. You got to protect that almond crop. Got to protect the kale. Got to get those avocados. That's the important stuff. People dying? Don't. The farmers are going to need that. If the farmers don't have that water, Jack, what are the illegals going to pick when they come here to do jobs we won't do? Exactly. See? Thank you, Wolfgang. Fire can be put out with low frequency sound base. I don't think that's true.
Now you're trying to turn sound against fire too? Listen to you, bigotry.
Yeah, they could have put out all of those fires if they just had boom boxes still. No, but this is what we came away with. Some people got fired. One agency has been basically put on, they're on leave right now, Jack. They're not fired.
Yeah.
Some government websites that don't need to be running because they're doing audits on them are not running. And Trump released water that was being diverted for a fish nobody gives a fuck about. That's not even in short supply.
It's pre-endangered, Monkey. They're planning on making it endangered later, but not right now.
That's chaos in their world.
Yes. Chaos is doing what you said you were going to do.
That's why the Krasenstein one just jumped out at me. Like, he says he's going to close down the Department of Education and then tried to treat it like it was a secret. He's literally doing everything he said he was going to do. Same thing he did in 2017. I know he didn't get the wall completed, and that pissed off a lot of people. But all of his campaign promises, he at least tried to do. The other one he didn't get done was replacing Obamacare, and that's on Congress. He told him, send me something. I'll sign it. Send it. And Congress was like, but we were lying about having a different plan.
Yeah. That's definitely on the Republicans.
Yep. And this is what Washington hates. They hate somebody who actually does what they said, because if you solve a problem, you can't use that in the next election again, Jack.
Yeah. Which he doesn't have. So.
Yeah, you need to keep those problems going so your party can get in there and tell you how they're going to fix it. And then don't. We'll take care of it. We promise. Oh no, it wasn't really my fault. I had diarrhea that day. Thank you, Wolfgang. Sound is mechanical vibrations, LOL. Back in 2015, there was a successful experiment showing it works as much when water was a problem, I remembered. I'm not thinking you could put out the kind of fires that were in the Pacific Palisade area with loud music or with low frequency loud music.
Well, even if you could, they still wouldn't do it because they'd complain it would hurt some sparrow or some bullshit.
There's a lot of stuff you can do in a small controlled experiment. And I don't know, I'm not familiar with the experiment to know how big it was, but I can't imagine that working on anything even like campfire size. You'd need a hell of a sound wave to do that.
Sounds really cool, though.
Oh, yeah. I would also imagine that if it's enough to disrupt the area enough to put out fire, it's probably going to cause some building damage.
Like the deer's head start exploding.
Yes. Danger Spaces, thank you. Do you guys in the States have a different meaning of the word chaos? Arresting lawbreakers, water helping extinguish fires, pronoun removal, firing people, 404 error. What the hell, Seth? Well, it says what the fuck, Seth. You have to understand they don't really care about it's not about the word having actual meaning. These are people who were like, what is a woman? My favorite thing is when you see, like, I saw this just the other day, that ramen-headed weirdo chick, not the one that interviewed Peterson, but the long-haired one who got popular there for like 3 days.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. It's like Caitlin something, if I remember right. Anyway, somehow a video of hers got sent to me, and she asked this guy, well, what is a woman? And he said, a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman. Like, that's a circular definition that is meaningless.
Yeah, but you see, this is sort of like going into a hoarder's house and cleaning it, and they start crying because now to them, the structure and order is chaos. They cannot comprehend it because they're so used to the mess being everywhere.
I don't believe that they think it's chaos, though. It's just a word that they chose. If we tell everybody it's chaos, then people will get mad at him.
Oh, I'm agreeing with you about the elites, but the lower level foot troopers are brainwashed.
Oh, the lower level ones, they'll just repeat what they were told to repeat and then say that you're in a cult.
Yeah, of course.
Which is their other new favorite lately. I don't know what fucking asshole told them the word cult, but I hope you step on a Lego today.
Right?
Because they don't know what that one means either. And we have a video about that. Did I retweet that? No, I commented on that one. Hang on a second. I got to find it. Oh my God. I don't even want to know who sent me that. Little David, we're going to have a talk because just looking at that picture has bothered me. I haven't even read it yet. Son of a bitch. Jack, talk for just a second, would you?
Sure. What's up, chat? How you
Be
guys
easier if I
doing
could
out there?
see.
If you cannot defend the term without using the term, you don't fucking know. Yep, but they're masters of that. They just change the words around. Oh, thank you, firefighter Wolfgang Deo. Sound firefighting would be like blowing out a candle. Could use the hovering rockets from Musk or Bezos. Could also use helicopters in a convoy. Also, could use water bottles filled with seawater by volunteers and airdrop, or use water grenades. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but until they actually do it, it's just more theoretical stuff. Because there's so much they could do that they don't, because they don't really give a shit about people.
Or because once you take it to a massive scale, there's other damage that would happen.
Yeah, well, they don't really care about, forest management to begin with. They just do it under the guise of some hippie nonsense. I don't trust these people at all. I wouldn't trust them with this kind of technology. They'll find a way to use it against citizens. Yeah, the fire does identify as a blessing. Why would you put that out? Especially if it was started by a sainted homeless person or an illegal, or even better, an illegal homeless person. Oh, that's their art, man.
On your screen is a moron. And I just have to address this before we start.
Is it about her cock holster?
No.
Oh.
She actually has a pretty mouth. I was watching Bearing, and they just, for some reason, the topic of deliverance came up. And he actually played the clip of "Squeal Like a Piggy." Anyway, it has become vogue. Other people have finally started noticing the septum ring. And I just want to point out, any nose ring, okay? Any nose ring. Yes, there's some people on the right and some people who seem kind of normal who have a nose ring. Anybody who wants to look like they have a booger shouldn't be trusted. Always double check, because there's something wrong with them. Just throwing that out there.
Well, you knew that by seeing that she's a woman. So
this isn't like piercing your ear. Your nose is kind of important. Your earlobe isn't. You could lose your whole earlobe and your life is not going to change. You fuck around with your nose and you're going to have some issues. Stop poking holes in your nose.
Yeah, like Skeletor cosplay is not that cool, guys.
Thank you, Wolfgang. Since me grandma is gone, let me have more fires. No fire bad, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, nose rings are a warning sign, ladies and gentlemen. Even this is the second stage. The first stage is the stud, the little booger stud. This is step 2. Step 3 is the septum. Step 4 is when they do the nostril and the septum at the same time.
Yeah. I have seen step 5 where they have a chain going from the nose to the ear.
Yep, seen that one too. I would actually say that's step 6, because I've seen one recently that I've moved into the 5th position that goes into each nostril and the septum, and there's a part of it that goes over the bridge of the nose.
Oh my God.
So it kind of looks like a clover shape. Yeah, I don't know.
That seems like a lot of work.
But the chain is the top level, whatever it is, right? Anyway, she's got some stuff to talk to our manager about.
I'm calling MAGA all to the table for the second day in a row.
I'm sure they're all listening. How come? Can I just ask why so much of rhetoric coming from women is always like they're trying to talk to children?
Because they think they're smarter than everybody.
I called you all to the table here because we need to have a discussion.
We need to talk. You're dumber than me because I went to college.
And I will keep calling you all to the table until you realize how problematic it is that you.
I'm just going to be quite honest with you. I tend to tune out when I hear the word problematic.
Yeah, and she's calling us to the table because look at that chin. She's hungry.
Thank you, Wolfgang. If talking about piercings, I'll keep my pants up. Well, I hope you would do that anyway. Don't take your pants down on stream.
Yeah, that's it's considered gauche. Yeah, poor form, buddy.
All right, so we need to realize how problematic the situation is, Jack.
Of course we do.
Or she's going to call our manager.
You are trusting Elon Musk. This man is actively trying to take over our government.
He could buy our government.
Elon is doing what Trump tasked him with doing, going in there and basically auditing all of these departments.
Yeah, it's kind of what he wanted to do.
And they had a issue because of the whole Treasury Department. A bureaucrat, a paid jackass who'd been working in Treasury for 35 years, wouldn't give the head of Treasury access to the system needed to make sure payments weren't going out because of the executive order Donald Trump signed. And they're like, Elon's taking over the government. You people are fucking stupid.
Yeah, but that guy was part of the resistance.
Can't even call you retarded. I have more respect for retarded people.
Well, yeah, that's a short trip, though.
And succeeding. I thought MAGA gloated about how they cared about our country. They cared about our democracy. They cared about the Constitution.
You guys were the ones with democracy, okay? Stop putting that shit on anyone else. I thought MAGA cared about democracy. Then why did you guys say that he was going to be a fascist dictator? Do you not know what a dictator is? You can't have it both ways, my bell-shaped friend. Her head looks like a bell. It really does.
Yeah, she's
the way her hair flows across her face, it's bell-shaped.
She's a treat.
Constitution. If you are currently letting Elon Musk do what he is doing, then you do not care about any of that.
I really want to talk to this lady and ask her to square that circle for me.
I don't think she can, Monkey. It's going to be a lot of circular rhetoric.
If you let Elon Musk do what the president has tasked him with doing, then you don't believe in your country. What? I felt like I missed something when she said that. Like this was the CBS Kamala interview. They just skipped part of it. I did think about watching that, and then I listened to it. And the reason we're not going to, we can talk about it in a little bit, but it was the audio. I did not feel like going through and fixing their fucking audio. Because the interviewer comes through loud and clear, and Kamala's really, really quiet. Thank you, Wolfgang, again. America is not our government. We have one, though. Some people think it is. Look, this chick has been looking for her dad since her mom last saw him when she was conceived. Any daddy will do, and daddy government is her daddy of choice.
Which if you are just blindly trusting him, then you are in a cult.
You don't know me.
That's not the definition of a cult. It's really not. Is there blind trust in a cult? Yes. You know where else there's blind trust? Parent-child relationship, Jack.
Yeah.
A marriage. friendships. Blind trust is all over the place.
My mechanic when I dropped my car off.
If you trust, then you're in a cult. Sure.
And if you were just offended by me saying that you are in a cult, then you are.
I'm not offended. I'm
Well,
disappointed in
shit.
your grasp of the English language.
If you're offended at her saying you're in a cult, then you're in a cult.
Well, it's obviously evidence of your cultishness. What else could it be?
That is, I don't know how she deals with having that kind of power. Like, if you question her, that literally means you're in a cult. That is really powerful to be the arbiter of culthood based on somebody denying it.
Look, it's really difficult to be that awesome, but she's willing to step up to the plate for it.
Oh my good God. She thinks very highly of herself.
Clearly.
And if you are questioning what he is doing, follow that.
I question what everybody does because I don't trust many people. Certainly not anybody in government. I don't even trust Trump. I'm just going to be honest with you. He ran for president, and I don't trust anybody who does that. See, I trust Washington because he didn't even really want the job. And he was like, all right, I'll do it. Fine.
And it's hard to fuck stuff up after 250 years of being dead.
But past that, everybody else sought the job, and I don't trust none of them. Why would you trust something? And especially after the Civil War, when we get to the power, and then after World War II, the most powerful man ever. That should fucking worry you about anybody who wants that job.
Yeah, like Woodrow Wilson and Roosevelt, those were some scary fucking dudes.
Yeah.
They knew how to wield power.
And I guarantee you this chick wasn't like, if you believe what Biden mumbles to you, then you're in a cult.
He's whispered sweet nothings like, come on, Corn Pop, let me play with your Twizzlers.
Questioning what he is doing. It is okay to go against the norm of MAGA. That is what we need you all to do.
I need you to suck my fat one. I don't. This is the condescending bullshit. What we need is you guys to question the MAGA. No, what you want is just people who agree with you. Just be honest. Just be honest. You need that in a smoothie filled with extra sugar. You ain't kidding me. Speaking of kidding me, Jack, I just fucking love this story. We have to put this chick on the screen. We're not going to watch her because what she says is boring and stupid. She's a Michigan House member. Saying, my state, go us. This little speech she's giving here is about how important abortion is. But Trump has so traumatized this woman because of abortion that she got herself sterilized.
Well, I guess I'll learn them.
This is a lawmaker. This is somebody that is paid to represent people here in Michigan with my tax dollars, who, because she cares so much about abortion, made it so she can never get one.
Well, look, man, you don't want to get preggers during the reign of Hitler, right?
Literally, she's like, if you won't let me kill babies, then I just won't get pregnant. Well, yeah.
I mean, look at her. She looks kind of old anyway.
And that woman can't be more than, she can't even be 30 yet.
I don't know. Her face is pretty ugly.
Thank you, Cult of Krill. Washington was a piece of crap that promised land to his soldiers in lieu of payment and then backstabbed them. And when they revolted, he raised a militia to kill a lot of them. Thank you for the donation. Sorry I sound like I'm Joe Biden when I'm reading. My eyes are real bad, guys. Remember, if you want me to have a good chance of reading it, cap lock. You don't have to cap lock, though. I know a lot of people who don't like cap lock. That's fine. But it will come out like text to speech if it's not. But I'm not saying Washington is perfect. Just if I'm looking for somebody when it comes to who was seeking power, look, Washington absolutely wanted to be the commander of the federal force, the colonial forces. He pretended he didn't. He just happened to show up in his military uniform every day. I wonder what George is wanting from us. But when it came to the presidency, by all accounts, the man didn't want the power, but felt it was his obligation to do what he could for the country. And I do respect that. Doesn't mean he was a perfect man. Wolfgang, thank you. So this lady's next job is a brothel? I'd smash. She's cute enough. Yeah. I mean, in my younger years.
Oh, no, this chick's not attractive.
I know she's like 5 foot tall and weighs more than 30 pounds. So she's fat and ugly to you.
Well, she is fat, but her face is a
She's
wreck,
so not
man.
fat.
Yeah, she's got a gun under that shirt. You can see the curve of her hip there. That's jelly roll.
Women are supposed to have curves on their hips.
The curve, not jelly rolls. She'll
It's
look
not
like
jelly
they're
rolls.
going out to make the donuts. That chick's fat.
I just
big
she's
tummy
not.
and everything.
I just love that their answer to I won't be able to have an abortion is I won't get pregnant.
Yeah, well, they really love baby murder, and they're not going to admit that. And self-sterilization does fix the problem for us, because then
It
they're not going
does.
to be able to murder babies, and they're not going to reproduce later down the line. So I'm okay with it.
On the other side of the spectrum is a lawmaker from Mississippi. I couldn't find the video I wanted about this, so we'll just have to talk about him.
So it is a spectrum.
Yeah, it's a retard spectrum. He, because he believes in abortion, has put forward a law that makes it illegal for men to ejaculate without the purpose of procreation. You see, if they're going to tell women what they can do with their bodies and kill babies, then men can't ever ejaculate unless they're meaning to have a child. Because those are entirely the same thing.
Yes, because these fucking clowns, man. Do they really think that anybody's impressed with this crap?
Well, their side is. They think that is, oh, you owned them.
Oh,
Because they suck at analogy, Jack. How many times have you heard me say that phrase?
No, yeah, well, you're not wrong.
You know what? Okay, women not being allowed to abort would be like not allowing men to punch women in the stomach when they're pregnant and they don't want the kid. Oh, wait. Saying that a man can't have an orgasm without wanting to have a baby, the equivalent there would either be female masturbation or, more accurately, them going through ovulation, because that's their side of the procreation thing there. But it's just another one. I was watching Bering's video on this, and he said when he first heard about this, he thought it was some right winger. I'm like, how did you not get that? Was quite. We've seen them do this before. We've seen female lawmakers try to outlaw male masturbation because they think that's what this is. Once it's a fully formed baby, once the egg and sperm are together, it's not just the egg anymore. It's not just the sperm anymore. There's a new life there. That's what you're killing. And I don't know if you noticed, like we can look at Scott Peterson. Scott Peterson was not just charged with the death of Lacey. He was also charged with the death of their child. Well, if it's just a fetus and it's not really a person till it's born, why are men charged with those crimes? Sure, get him for killing Lacey, right? But why are you tacking on for that thing that wasn't even a thing? It was a parasite. Oh, but she wanted the baby and a man took it. Now, if the man wanted the baby and she flushed it out, fuck him.
Well, yeah, nobody respects men's voices.
It's only a clump of cells when it's convenient. True. And that's one of my biggest problems with their bullshit. Other than the fact that they're, killing babies. Maybe just stop killing babies. That would be, you'd be fine with just that, Jack.
You would think, but Moloch would be very angry and won't give them what they want anymore.
Oh, one of my posts got limited visibility because I called a guy a retard. Aw. He reported me for abuse.
Aw. Poor little retard couldn't handle retardation jokes.
Yeah, and it was a dumbass argument too, because so the Krasensteins are mad because Trump came out and said that they, found $8 million that went to Politico over the last several years.
Yep.
And the left is trying to obfuscate that by pointing to congressional offices who subscribe to Politico Pro, which is apparently a really expensive subscription costing upwards of $9,000 a year, Jack.
Oh, what a deal.
Yeah. But that is not the funds that everybody's pissed about. It's a lot of money, but it's not the 8 million. That was government agencies and not congressional, the executive agencies. And this dumbass, I forget which Krasenstein it was. He's like, Trump is out here lying. And I just asked him, so you're saying the government, our government has never given any news agencies money? And he said, no. What I'm saying is it's perfectly normal for the government to give money to corporations like Lockheed Martin. I'm like, wait, what? Like, you do realize that there's fraud in government spending, right?
No.
And I just pointed to, all of the COVID fraud we saw. $9 billion last count. And this guy's like, that's not the same thing. I'm like, it's fraud. But that was fraud by the people who got the government money. Like, huh? And we're talking about money that went to Politico. Wonder how this is relevant.
Yeah, it's almost like it's tied together somehow.
There are so many. Look, there's government waste. There's fraud within our government. And then there's fraud allowed to happen by our government. We'll call that one money laundering. Yes, a lot of the times it's not an actual federal worker who's the one who's committing fraud. Sometimes they're just incompetent at their job. And sometimes they just agree with the shitbags who are getting the money. Problem is, we can't actually know what's inside their head to know which is which, Jack. In either case, they should be fucking fired. Let's talk about the U.S. aid thing, because this one is blowing my fucking mind. Reading that Krasinski thing, I realized they now have the left. Donald Trump is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
He has the left out there cheering for government waste and fraud.
Yeah.
And for corporate welfare.
And defending rapists.
It is amazing. All Donald Trump has to do is come out and say something, and these idiots are like, no. Brian Stelter, our fat little child molester friend from CNN, allegedly he works at CNN. This motherfucker came out the other day and said, we in the news business cover reality. The problem is Trump says so many wild things, we can't even cover the reality. Like, bitch, you work for a news agency that was just sued successfully for lying about a guy. And it wasn't because of Trump. Trump had nothing to fucking do with it.
Oh, even better, they have a track record now.
Yeah.
Of multiple lawsuits for lying about people, for defamation.
We cover reality. Like, not the reality the rest of us are in.
Yeah, not according to the legal system.
His former colleague, Chris Cillizza, just had to write, last week, I think is when we covered it, his excuse for why he got it wrong on the lab leak. And what was it? Well, Donald Trump said it, so our instinct was to not believe it. Did you
Not biased at all.
put any fucking thought into it?
Nope. Thinking is not what they're paid for.
They literally, all they do is Donald Trump will say something like, no, there's never been government waste ever. What are you talking about?
You're not my real dad.
We totally need DEI. What was it, 75,000 or something like that for a musical on DEI in Ireland?
Yeah, and then they were paying for a stage play in Peru, 32 grand for a comic book about a transgender character.
The
in
Peru one was a trans play.
Yeah.
That is a big part of it, is them pushing transgender ideology. We won't push free speech ideology, but we're pushing trans ideology around the world.
$500,000 to promote atheism in Nepal, $2 million for Moroccan pottery classes, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt.
Yeah.
$2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala. $45 million to DEI scholarships in Burma. $47,000 for the transgender opera in Colombia. $2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam.
FL, thank you so much. We cover up reality, indeed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have more of them?
Oh yeah, I got a whole list here. 1.5 million.
Can you send me the link for it?
Yeah, I'll send you the image. I just downloaded an image off one of the sites that was covering it.
Cool. I'll bring it up on the screen while you're reading through them. Because, yeah, this is ridiculous shit. This is why when my wife, I asked her, the first thing I asked her was, what videos did they show about this U.S. aid thing? Like, sick and starving kids? Like, of course.
Yeah.
Because they can't be fucking honest.
No, why would they want to do that?
All right, let's make that a little bit bigger. All right. Go ahead, Jack.
1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplace and business communities.
Next time people tell me why the rest of the world hates me, I'm gonna bring this and give it to them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna print this shit out and just hand it out like business cards.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a nonprofit linked to designated terror organizations, even after the Inspector General launched an investigation. A lot of those were like the Taliban and Al Qaeda in Afghanistan.
Yep, that story broke mid-general election after Kamala's named, when the story finally breaks, and it was like 2 years old before they told us about it.
Yeah. $1 million to Eco Health Alliance, which was involved in research at the Wuhan lab. That won't backfire on us. $20,000 for drag shows in Ecuador.
That's important.
Oh, very important.
Hey, what if George Santos needs to go back? He needs money.
No, he'll have a cover story. Don't worry. $520 million for consultant-driven ESG investments in Africa. You know, where China pretty much runs all of Africa. Funding to print personalized contraceptive birth control devices in developing countries.
Like condoms with your name on it?
I'm guessing IEDs with your name on them.
That makes even less sense. Nobody's going to see that.
You don't know.
I do.
I mean, there's cannibalism still down there. Hundreds of millions of dollars to fund irrigation canals, farming equipment, and even fertilizer used to support the unprecedented poppy cultivation and heroin production in Afghanistan, benefiting the Taliban.
And that one's even worse because when the Afghan papers came out, the billions of dollars that were just wasted in Afghanistan. And no, guys, I'm not talking about the military action itself. Literally, we had to give this money away, and they were just giving it away to people. There was a daily limit they had to give away.
Yeah, I remember the Taliban were posting photos of pallets of cash just laying around.
So and this is just the newer stuff. We have been wasting money my entire life, Jack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Probably longer because this was developed under Kennedy, the U.S. aid. So I'm sure it's been a slush fund for the CIA for a lot longer than we think. $2 million promoting tourism to Lebanon, where they still have slavery, by the way.
What was that campaign? Come kill Jews.
Yeah, apparently. $20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq.
That one I'm curious about because I've heard it two different ways, that it was for Iraq and that it was for Pakistan.
There were two different shows.
Was the 20 million split between the two, or did each one get that?
No, Iraq specifically got 20 million.
Okay, gotcha.
So they're different instances. This isn't a complete list by any stretch either. Sending Ukrainians to the Paris Fashion Week.
Hey, look, they got to keep Vladimir's wife happy. I mean, you've seen him, right?
They're in the middle of a war, so it's a perfect time to go to Paris Fashion Week. 9 million to feed Syrians ending up in terrorist hands. Hundreds of thousands of meals that went to Al Qaeda affiliated fighters.
I mean, this is the shit we saw with Gaza, right? I mean, when you send humanitarian aid to places that are run by terrorists, you're just not smart.
What, you mean they won't keep their word? You're so untrusting.
It kind of reminds me of an episode of Friends. This little girl wants to win this award to go to space camp. And Ross can't, it ends up not working out for her. And she says what she really wants is something that her dad can't sell, implicating, that her dad is just selling all her toys and shit. That's what terrorists are. You give them this shit that's supposed to take care of these people, and they straight up steal it. You had the terrorists riding in on top of the relief trucks. They took them over as soon as they got there, and people, the Jews just won't let them have food. Really?
Yep.
Anyway,
real quick, thank you, Frosted. In his first term, Trump was chewing some bubblegum and walked into a federal building thinking they'd try to help him. Term 2, he walks into with a pair of sunglasses, and guess what he just ran out of? Bubblegum. Nice They Live reference. And lastly on this list, which, like I said, absolutely not a complete list, $1.2 billion in awards to undisclosed recipients.
Yeah, and this doesn't even touch on the Pentagon not having it. What is it? I forget how many years in a row it is. It's like 5 or 10 or some shit like that, where they haven't been able to account for all of the money that they've been given.
Yeah. Well, they failed their, 7th audit?
Yeah, I forget how many of them it is in a row now. But you're talking about trillions of dollars. And the way that it gets reported is a little bit dirty. Like the Pentagon can't account for $6 trillion. They can account for some of that $6 trillion, and they just can't balance the books.
Yeah. And they don't want to.
No. And nobody's held them accountable for it.
No. Why would they actually care if they're never held to account?
They won't, because they don't have to. They can just keep doing the same stupid shit. Look, when we were kids, there was the big scandal about the toilet seats because the government was paying like $4,000 for toilet seats that you can get at Walmart for $20.
Yeah.
And so they cut that back a little bit. So now we spend like $100 or $200 on them. They did save a lot of money that way. And then they just wasted it elsewhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, thank you, Cult of Curl, for that feminist donation. USAID is a deceptively named organization on purpose. The layperson will think it's an aid organization. It stands for U.S. Agency for International Development. It is totally cut out for the CIA and State Department to do dirty stuff. That's what it looks like. So, yeah, I completely agree. But thank you, Cult.
There's a lot of that stuff. I mean, the government is famous for doing this. They'll name. I mean, look at the CARES Act.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with not even what they told us it was. It's the CARES Act. You can't be mad at it, because see, if you're mad at it, that means you don't cares.
If you go through some of the media stuff that they throw money at, you're looking at like Reuters, the New York Times, Politico, the Associated Press. It's disgusting how much money we've given to our enemies.
I kind of want to watch this video, but it's 3 minutes. All right, we'll just bring it up and just watch a little part of it.
3 minutes? How will we get through that?
Well, it's old and it might as well be black and white. This is I'm not sure which senator this is, but there was a Senate hearing where they were questioning the CIA about their involvement with media. Not media overseas, Jack. United States media. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I meant to do that. There we go.
I thought that it was a matter of real concern.
Oh, it says right there. That's Frank Church. Apparently, when you blow it up so you can see the whole thing, you can actually read it.
Huh, weird.
That planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country.
Sound familiar?
Oh, he's crazy. What a conspiracy theorist. According to the CIA memo I got today.
Yeah, this is not new. When was Frank Church a senator? Let's see.
Looks like the 70s, late 60s.
Let's see. Frank Church died in 84. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does it show when he was in office? That's his military service. That's not the one I'm looking for. He left in 81. He was there from 57 to 81. So at the latest, this was 81, Jack.
Yeah, and I doubt it's that new. It looks very like early 70s, late 60s.
Yeah.
And we're looking at that very carefully.
Yeah, because I mean, he died pretty old, and he does not look old in this clip at all.
No.
All right, now this is the CIA testifying in public.
Carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Now he gets asked about, do you have anybody working for television station? He goes, I'd like to talk about that off the record. Yeah,
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
Executive session is behind closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about Operation Mockingbird.
Yes, they are.
So if you haven't looked that up, look it up. It's pretty fucking horrifying. It's like Operation Northwoods and MK Ultra and pretty much anything else the CIA does.
But don't worry, guys. There's nothing you need to worry about with the government sending money to Politico.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, the CIA is nothing if not targeting foreign enemies, not trying to influence things here or kill JFK.
All right. Senator Al Green. Oh, God, this guy drives me nuts. Do you know who Al Green is? Not the singer.
Oh, in that case, I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. I'm sure we've watched him before.
We saw a lot of him during the impeachment. We saw a lot of him during the the fight for House Speaker when McCarthy won.
Is this the guy that just filed impeachment again?
Yep.
Oh
yep.
God, yeah.
Well,
dastardly deeds.
I kept seeing people say he filed impeachment, but he doesn't actually say that. And as far as I know, the articles weren't introduced. But anyway.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message.
He always carries his cane. I'm not going to lie. I do like the cane. He got a nice pimp cane on him. It's the ponytail that drives me nuts.
And he looks like Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke.
Yeah, you're right. He's right. He's right. Ethnic cleansing is not a joke. Those Jews are in serious danger there.
I was just going to say, I think it depends on how you frame the joke.
There's that too.
Especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world.
Did Trump joke about ethnic cleansing?
I'm
gonna be honest.
I know of, but maybe.
I didn't watch his joint thing there with Netanyahu because I don't care. I was playing a video game. But I feel like that he probably didn't make jokes about ethnic cleansing.
No, he did say that we're going to annex Gaza and make it ours, but we're going to displace everybody and not kill them all.
Well, I mean, if we did displace them all, technically that would be an ethnic cleansing of the area, but we could ship them over to the West Bank. It's not that far.
Yeah, he's talking about putting them in Jordan or Egypt. That's not an ethnic cleansing. They're just moved. They're not dead.
When he has the ability to perfect what he says, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed, knowing the history of his people.
Netanyahu should be an ashamed Jew, Jack.
Yeah, he should be ashamed that they're moving all those people that keep attacking them. Wait
till you hear why he should be ashamed. He hit on part of it there, with the history of his people. By the way, dude, your Martin Luther King shtick doesn't really work. You're not good at it.
Yeah, he's not very charismatic.
To stand there and allow such things to be said.
Netanyahu should have punched Trump in the mouth. Netanyahu was probably like, oh, please do that. Please get rid of these shitbags. I'm tired of my people dying.
Right?
Ethnic.
Don't worry. We're not watching this just so I can make jokes about this idiot and how dumb he is. We're watching it for one specific part where he says something stupid.
Cleansing has been a crime against humanity.
If somebody in Gaza washes their clothes, is that ethnic cleansing?
I mean, maybe.
It'd be a first over there, I'm sure, but still. Actually, that's not true. Those motherfuckers, look at these starving children, and they're all in brand new clothes.
Yeah.
All right.
And I stand here today in the well to denounce what was said, to denounce what the president said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America.
What?
All
if there's an injustice in Gaza, Jack, let's say, I don't know, a terrorist organization is in charge of it and they're keeping the people down. That's a threat to us here. That's a threat to justice here.
Well, I guess the Palestinians could be a threat to U.S. citizens. if they're over at some peace festival in Israel. So I guess that's not untrue per se.
It's dumb.
Of course it's dumb. This guy's a retard.
Oh, but he hasn't even hit his stride yet.
I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president.
See, this is why I'm not sure he's actually. I will bring them, he said.
Yeah. No, every report I've seen is that he already did it.
Huh.
So I don't know. You're probably right because journalists are fucking idiots, but
Well, he may have done it later in the day too.
yeah.
But the move to impeach Donald Trump starts today. What are you talking about? Jamie Raskin was talking about doing this back in like August.
Yeah, well, Raskin's kind of a spurg, so they're all racing to see who can bring down Trump. They all want to be, because they're all the geniuses that are going to do it. Everybody else is incompetent and dumb, and they're all like Cobra Commander's level of quality assurance. You know, like, oh, you came up with a plan. It was just dumb and it fell apart.
I just want to point out that this man has said Donald Trump was joking about ethnic cleansing, not participating, not planning, joking.
Well, jokes are deadly, Monkey. You might hurt someone's feelings till they die.
He thinks joking, by his own terminology, not mine, Jack, his, joking rises to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors.
Yes, because it's a type of assault. Words are violence now. We've gone over this, Monkey. You cannot make a joke. It is dangerous. Those things are like the claymores of verbiage.
Even if Donald Trump said that he wanted to ethnic cleanse, and this guy's like, he's completely serious about wanting to ethnically cleanse. Wanting to do it's not illegal either. That's not a crime.
It's a thought crime.
For dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
I must have missed the dastardly deed felony.
Yeah, well, those are high crimes and misdemeanors. I mean, look at all the crimes that Dick Dastardly and Muttley have committed during the wacky races, Monkey.
True. Look, they are. And this is why when Marjorie Taylor Greene was pulling her shit, you can't just throw shit out and be like, I found no, you need an actual crime. You can sit there and be like, I hate this guy, but if you don't have an actual crime you're pointing to, all you're doing is making a mockery of what impeachment is. You already did that twice in his first term.
They're going to go for a third and fourth shot at the apple.
They don't have the House or the Senate. It's never going to go anywhere.
Doesn't matter. Remember, doing something is feeling good, and feeling good is all that matters.
I just want to be clear. I don't think, like, let's say Donald Trump did something actually worthy of impeachment, and like, well, the Republicans have the House, so there's no reason to even bring him. No, you should still bring him and try if he actually did something wrong. But literally here, his problem is he told a joke.
Yeah. Jokes are violence. Words are violence. Therefore, he was assaulting all of the Gazans, which amounts to an ethnic crime, because all the Gazans are Palestinians who are a protected class and are sainted and above all others because they're a protected class. It's mental gymnastics across the board. These people are all, I think, very much insane.
And I hear you, and I think you're absolutely right on that. Hey, what's up, Undoomed? How you doing?
Yeah,
but in the reality, or in the real world, he can feel this way, but to bring articles of impeachment over it, get fucked.
That it won't stop him from trying, because they're that desperate. Let's face it, they are still flailing. They've learned nothing.
This is why you need the press to actually be fair. Why you need, because somebody in the press should be like, that guy needs to shut the fuck up. What he's doing is making a mockery of the system.
They're not going to do that because they're
No,
getting all
but-
that funding from USAID.
They had no problem doing it with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they were
Well,
right to in her case.
Yeah, but that was just monkeys and typewriters. Look, broken clocks and all that.
No, it wasn't. It was partisanship, is what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they actually got it right that she was being retarded, but they'd have gone after her no matter what she said.
Yep.
And they're doing that because their money comes from, one organization that is quite heavily funded a lot of the places they're going to work. And if they want to keep their jobs, they're going to toe the party line.
Now we're coming to my favorite part and the reason we're watching this.
I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass up movement, not a top down.
A member of Congress who is starting, by his own words, starting the movement. It's going to be a grassroots movement from the bottom up, not the top down.
Not the bottom, the grass.
From the grass up. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
It's like the happening, but with grass instead of trees.
You're a congressman. You're about as high as you can go.
No, he's part of the bourgeoisie, just like you, buddy. He's a working man.
I heard this part, and it's another one of those. I'm listening to it, and I actually stopped. I was he didn't just say that, and I had to rewind it. I'm like, yeah, he did.
He's kind of a dum-dum. Real quick, thank you, Ethnic Cleanse Wolfgang Deo. What do you call a black man flying in an airplane?
Pilot.
The pilot, you're racist. Yep.
That was one of my son's favorite jokes when he was in high school. I love that joke. All right.
The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it,
Okay, let me explain how grassroots works, dude. The people demand it, and then you respond. You telling them what to do is not grassroots.
Yeah, you got to tell your foot soldiers what to believe. That's how grassroots work.
Do they have any grasp of any definitions?
Wait, do you mean the correct grasp? No.
Yes, the proper, what the words actually fucking mean.
No, it's sort of like watching TikTokers talking about like raw dogging.
Oh, God. I wonder how many of them knew what that actually meant when they started using the word raw dogging for that.
I'm guessing 0.
I'm raw dogging on the plane. I would not be telling people that on social media.
How much you want to bet that whole thing started because some kid's on vacation with his parents and they got drunk on the airplane and went back and had sex in the bathroom and came out. The kid's like, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're just raw dogging this flight.
It's such a gross term. All right. We're not actually going to watch her, but this is the press secretary or the AG, sorry, Bondi. And I think it is a damn shame. And I said this on Twitter, Jack, that Donald Trump is not getting credit for hiring the first female AG who's not fucking ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
How come we only celebrate it when it's ugly women?
Because other ugly women are saying we have to celebrate it.
This is a milestone. This is the first pretty woman to hold that job. And they're like, well,
she did some sit-ups, baby.
I hate her. I don't even remember what this guy was ranting about. This is some, I'm just going to say it, pedo-looking Democrat in the House.
That's not descriptive enough.
Tell me I'm wrong, though.
No, I'm not doing that. He looks like the guy that grabbed the medallion from Indiana Jones in Egypt and got the scar on his hand. Fraulein.
He looks like he's going to be led out of the principal's office in handcuffs one day. Anyway.
What's on your hard drive?
He's mad about something.
Mr. Speaker, it's being reported that Elon Musk has sent his creepy minions to illegally install a private server that is stealing people's information.
It's being reported, so it must be true.
Hey, that guy in the back with the bearded glasses, wasn't he a cop on Law and Order?
Might have been. Thank you, Wolfgang. I like the gal behind the map. Was not expecting that. Wearing white. She looks beaten down, if I'm being honest. Anytime you watch Congress, you'll see the pages and stuff behind him. They all look like they've been abused.
Well, I imagine they probably have been. They're all probably tired from all the fellatio they have to give.
They are using it to skirt laws about sensitive and possibly even classified information.
I'd love to hear this guy's speeches about Hillary and her server.
No, that was perfectly acceptable because she was keeping information from evil Donald Trump.
Giving them access to people's social security numbers, home addresses, and more. What is happening is a crime, plain and simple. It's a crime.
What crime, sir?
The crime of he doesn't like it.
The Privacy Act of 1974, the Federal Information Security Management Act of 2002, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, as well as provisions of the Internal Revenue Code.
Yeah, but how? Which specific? Give me the code in the line so I can check it, and rather you can just say, "Oh, I've been quoted a lot of things," and then I go read them like, "This is where you're wrong."
Well, that's why he's not giving you specifics, and you know it.
And this is based on reporting.
Yeah.
Not based on anything that he's actually gone and seen or anything that's been. It's been reported
But
that
the
Elon
CIA
Musk,
via Politico.
that Elon Musk is stealing Social Security. Yeah, I'm sure Elon Musk with his billions needs my Social Security number so he can sell it to illegals and make a couple $100.
Yeah. Well, what's he gonna do with that? Like, claim some of my debt?
Right.
Like, seriously, my information is probably more secure on that server from Elon and his crew than it would ever be with the federal government.
Donald Trump learned a lot in his first term. And so far that we've seen, because one of his biggest problems in his first term is he didn't understand how government worked.
Yeah.
And he was constantly tripping over things because the people who were helping him write like executive orders didn't pay attention to things like waiting periods and public comment and that kind of shit. He seems to have learned his lesson on this. If, and now this is a big ass if, Elon brought in a server, one, it's not a private server, it's under the Doge government office. That's not private. I guarantee you it's being done legally. And my guess is that if that is happening, what actually happened is they brought in a server to where they can get everything in one place so they can collate the data and all that.
Yeah.
And that it's still going to be in a secure place there in Treasury. But this little kitty toucher, I just mean he hugs him, y'all, in inappropriate ways. He's really, really upset about it.
Elon says it's a crime to expose who he has put in charge of the federal government.
Did he? That part, I haven't been on Twitter a whole lot the last few days.
They've been doxing a lot of his programmers, guys that are working for him on this. And he said that that's a crime because it's, doxing federal employees.
And depending on what exactly, it absolutely can be a crime.
Yeah, they were like releasing photos of them, their right names and addresses, shit like that. Family members.
No,
doxing is not necessarily a crime. There's a lot of places in the country you can dox people. It's fucked up and it should be illegal, but it's not. But there are definitely places where it is.
Elon. No, it is a crime to hide that from the American people.
Who was running the everything for Biden? I need to know.
No, that's allowed to be hidden from the American people.
Yeah, don't tell me who the programmer is working for Elon, because that's a crime. But please keep it entirely on the down low who was really running the country for the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's basically the logic we're working with here. Yeah, I don't really give a shit who the programmer is as long as they're not selling secrets to the Ruskies or something. And I don't think they are.
And I have a feeling members of Congress can go ask and find out who's on Elon's team.
Yep, they probably have to do it in a closed door session or something, or one of those secret skiffs.
But sitting here saying that doxing and calling that a crime is no, fuck you. Anyway, I'm done with this ignorant asshole. I love how mad he is. It was just, that's what stuck out with me, was how mad he was about it all.
They're mad because Elon's actually uncovering a lot of governmental waste.
Yeah. Oh God, is this one not loud enough for us to hear? Ah, shit. I really want to watch this video. It's of the new press secretary being asked a stupid question. Yeah. I would have to find that on YouTube, and I don't have the will. Basically, somebody asked her about all of the stuff that's been going on. And this reporter asked, what's the message to schools that do not comply with this order? Talking about the order that Trump gave about the trans and sports and stuff, and following the executive orders, that they won't get federal money.
Yeah.
And the press secretary responded, they should follow because it's going to be federal law in about an hour and a half, which is such a gangster moment.
Yeah, she's actually pretty good as far as press secretaries go.
Yeah, she's been doing great with it.
Yeah, I miss Kayleigh, but she's pretty good replacement.
Yeah, Kayleigh was better at this because Kayleigh was sharp.
Yeah.
This girl, it's not that this chick isn't. Hey, VB, how you doing, sweetie?
Hi, VB.
She lacks the charisma that Kayleigh had.
Yeah.
Did you see Joy Behar? Like, the only reason she's up there is because she's a 10.
She's not a 10, Joy, you hideous old hag.
How demeaning to this lady.
Well, she's misconstruing something Trump said, because Trump was saying that, like, quality-wise, she's a 10, like, she's good at the job.
Yeah.
And she took that as, like, a judgment of looks.
It's just catty fucking bitchy behavior.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of bitter old ladies in the view. Sad, ugly, failed people that have nothing better to do with their time.
Look, I will say the Democrats mostly play it smart when it comes to women in power, because they put up ugly ones because they know other women will be mean to the ones if they're pretty.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful with that, because if you're cute, women will get you. You women are mean as fuck to each other.
It's true. Competition, man.
And so, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to expect this, because if they're anything above a 5, the View is going to be like, that bitch. Because everybody on the View is a -4.
Yeah. Yeah, they all look like the leftovers from the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, these are people who weren't even attractive when they were young. But Democrats do. They do a very good job of putting up ugly women so that it doesn't alienate other women. Hence Kamala. And let's talk about that for a minute, Jack. So I fucking watched that entire 60 minutes then.
You got through the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Not only did I get through the whole thing, I got through it 1.5 times. Because the first time I was watching it through a Twitter video, and Twitter was pissing me off. So I said, fuck it. And I went and watched it on YouTube, which was weird because the video on YouTube was entirely shot over Kamala's shoulder. That's the one that the AP released themselves, or sorry, 60 Minutes released themselves. But the other one that was going around was all from behind the interviewer or would bounce back and forth where you saw Kamala. You only saw the back of Kamala's head on this thing.
Just like you would normally.
That's like normal Kamala, yeah. And as I'm listening to this thing, I'm like, I honestly, if I'm just being honest, I can't blame 60 Minutes for what they did in trying to be an entertainment company. Because she was, what's the word I want? Almost incoherent, Jack. I get why he had to talk. We talked about it at the time because we watched it on here. If you guys never saw that one, go back and watch it. But she would be in the middle of an answer. He'd ask her a question and she'd start answering it. And then they would lower the volume on her and he would just tell us what she was saying, which is dirty. And for the sake of democracy, they really should have just played the whole thing and let her dumbass answer speak for itself.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
But if you're on her side, and especially if you don't want people to tune out because what did the bitch just say? I get it. I understand. However, I remember Alvin Bragg going after Trump for campaign or for election interference for payments that supposedly went to Stormy Daniels, even though it was a legit lawyer thing. There's nothing illegal about what was done there. The way they made it illegal is that it was election interference. If CBS doesn't have on their books that entire episode as a DNC ad, he should be hauling them into court for election interference.
Yeah. Real quickly, thank you, Vol Potato. Just a little correction. What Elon said was a crime was several people calling for Doge people to be assassinated. This guy's lying about what Elon said. Oh, okay. I misunderstood that. Sorry. Yeah, it is a crime to call for Doge people to be assassinated.
100%.
That is absolutely a crime.
And for the record, this is why I told my wife. She was telling me the other day about something she heard about Elon, and I'm like, just look, I haven't seen that story yet, but if it's coming from the mainstream, take it with a grain of salt, because these fuckers lie constantly.
Absolutely. And this interview with Kamala is a perfect example of the deception that you get out of mainstream media. It's no wonder they're all on the take from the random government agencies that nobody talks about.
Her answers were so bad. It might have been her worst interview, and we watched several of them, Jack.
Yeah, you think she'd be getting better as it went on, but no, she just consistently was terrible. I mean, it was incoherent word babble.
Mm-hmm. It was quite clearly a case of these are the talking points. No matter what you're asked, bring it around to this. And it just made her look retarded. I mean, I do think she actually might be on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah.
Because there's no excuse. It was disturbingly bad. And frankly, CBS needs to answer for that.
Yep.
I'm not necessarily saying to the government, Jack, but there used to be a time, I mean, whether you think it was done properly or not, Dan Rather had to quit over the bullshit he pulled.
Yeah.
There was at least a little accountability. Everybody involved in that segment and how it ended up on air should be fired at the very least.
Yeah, because they turned an interview into propaganda.
Yeah.
And very masterfully done if your audience is full of Sesame Street children from Pakistan.
Yeah, these are guys that we know that they did this because they put out a video clip hyping it up. Oh, fuck you. I brought up the first video that Jack brought for us.
Like, I bring like two things a show. And you're mad at me. You made me watch that fucking bald retard a minute ago.
I still think you owe me an apology for this one.
Yeah, I probably will actually. Thank you,
Anyway.
Libertarian.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Libertarian Wolfgang Deo. As a free speech absolutist, almost anything is acceptable as being spoken aloud since, well, we can have death threats monitored and investigated. Government is an entity, free speech. And we know who is thinking what better than silent unalivings. Yeah, look, I prefer to know where people stand. So if they say something and it bothers me, I'll at least know that I don't want to associate with that person. So I think more speech tends to be better, but direct threats, yeah, that should be investigated. People threatening Doge employees definitely should be investigated, especially because they tend to be those weirdo Antifa types.
Yeah, the standard for that is whether or not it's likely an imminent cause of action from it. If you're calling for it, and if you're actually saying it, it's just a threat, and that is not free speech.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you is not free speech. Not if you're being serious.
Yeah, sometimes the way you say it matters too. Like, I'm gonna make love to you versus I'm gonna make love to you.
Right.
That makes a difference. And one is free speech and the other is scary.
The other is Swalwell when it's not a spy. Anyway.
Do you think he farts during sex?
Oh, guaranteed. He has no control. He did it on TV. Of course he's gonna do it in the bedroom.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his aura, his sex aura. Like a skunk, you know. When he gets all sexually aroused, he just starts farting.
Yes. That's his pheromones.
Yeah.
I completely forgot what I was talking about with Kamala. Just to wrap that up, fuck CBS. Everybody should be fired over that shit.
Yeah, sorry, we kind of derailed that one.
No, it's because I brought this up, and as soon as I saw her, my whole train of thought was like, fuck.
There's been a lot of fat activists on Twitter last couple of days.
Of course there has been.
And a lot of them seem to involve transportation. So you heard about the Uber lawsuit, right?
I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Where the driver wouldn't take her because she was too fat.
Yeah. That bitch was ginormous too. She's like 500 pounds.
Do we know if he had an electric car? Because that actually matters in an electric car.
I don't think they said. I'm interested to see how the lawsuit goes, though, because most of the time they can turn down rides for just about any reason.
It matters in a regular car too. I mean,
yeah,
that size. I mean, that puts a lot of strain in one specific part of the car. Not to mention safety issues.
Yeah, your suspension. Oh my god, especially an older car. Oh.
Can't get the seatbelt all the way around you. You can't ride in the car.
Yeah, and there's no way that bitch was getting a seatbelt on her if she could even fit in the back seat of that dude's car.
But especially with an electric car, the more weight in it, the more the battery dies.
Yeah, it's serious strain on it.
Anyhow, I don't know what Tubby McGee is going to talk about, but here we go.
If you're familiar with my experience at SeaTac, where they refused to push me in a wheelchair.
Bitch, I see 2 working hands.
You know this bitch got a scooter. You know it. I mean, look at her. She's probably on the government dole.
My one aunt on my mom's side came to visit us with my aunt and uncle came to visit us one time when we lived in Norfolk. And she had put on some weight, Jack. She was so fat, she was confined to a wheelchair. And my uncle, who maybe weighed $105, soaking wet, was pushing her wheelchair. And this poor man, by the time he got all the way to us, he needed to sit down and take a break. And I'm like, Angel, push your own your arms still work. And that'll help you lose some of that fucking weight. Do some exercise, Tubby.
Sometimes when they get that big, they end up with like little T-Rex arms because they're so big. But yeah, she's upset because the people at the Seattle airport the staff refused to push her around the airport.
I
That's
would
what
too.
she's complaining about. I won't push her around because I don't want to throw my back out. I'm old.
OSHA regulations are like 50 pounds.
Yeah, look, we don't have a forklift, ma'am. We're not allowed to have those on the concourse.
I don't know how this bitch expected to get on the plane.
I don't know. You know, she only bought one
You know-
seat too.
This is the real reason that Boeing is having an issue. I'm just saying.
She thought the door was a ho-ho and tried
No.
to eat it.
She's sitting in the seat and it throws off the frame of the plane and suddenly the door pops off.
I do wonder about that. Like, if there's enough fat people on one side of the plane, do they come out and make a couple of them move to the other side?
They will, yeah, absolutely. If there's
I'm not an airport mechanic, so I don't really know the technicalities there.
if they are big enough, yeah, I mean, it's literally a safety issue.
Johnny Bonsacco said, I've had 5 hernia operations. This would be 6, 7, and 8.
Yes, sir. Anyway, oh God, they wouldn't push my fat ass. Well, get up and walk, Tubby.
What? No, you fat phobic bigot.
This is what I always said at Walmart when I see some fat ass on a scooter. Be like, the battery died again. If you can't walk to the snack aisle, you need to walk to the snack aisle.
Yeah, go past it and get some vegetables. No, you're just a
saw
fat
that-
phobic sociopath, monkey. That's all.
I'm not. If this bitch wasn't making this my problem, I wouldn't care.
Yep.
Be as
I
fat as
agree.
you fucking want. Just stop bothering everybody else with it.
Yep. You are not entitled to my manual labor or anything else from me. Stop it.
Stop making your poor life decisions everybody else's problem.
Yep.
chair. You saw that video, and they refused to push me because I was too fat.
I want to see that video because I could use the laugh.
I will see if I can find it real quick.
Jiraiya, thank you. I feel bad for her skeleton. Oh, it's jellied. Wolfgang, thank you. When she flies, she tells them 120 when asked about the weight. I have to tell them I'm 520 to make the weight checklist, people. Jump your horse or jump you horse. I know from playing like flight sims and stuff, Jack, and being in, I'm not a pilot. I have a passing interest in flight. Yeah, weight distribution is a problem on airplanes.
Yeah.
All right.
And they had absolutely no consideration for my physical health, my well-being, my
If you don't care about your physical health and well-being, why the fuck is it their problem?
You know why? Because people like this have no accountability in life at
This
all.
bitch really said they don't care about my health care, my well-being.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why they're supposed to. Why are you so entitled to that?
My heart hurts looking at you.
Right? Like, this makes me want to eat healthier and do exercises. Like, I'm fat and I want to lose some weight because I don't want to die like this bitch is going to. This bitch probably will never see 45.
needs, none of the above. Well, I thought maybe I was the only person that happened to experience that, and it was just something that was really uncommon. And then I talked to someone incredible in our community, and they're a
In our community, people too fat to fly?
Yes. I found the original video, by the way.
Oh, cool.
much smaller fat person than I am, and they experience the same damn thing.
Yeah, you tried to force somebody to push you around, and they're like, no, that's not my job. And you're like, you bigot! Well, so what? You're an entitled fat ass. I see a lot of that. I go to Walmart because I'm poor.
I see her arm flapping around. She can use her arms.
Well,
Push
I mean,
yourself,
flapping around
fatty.
like a little T-Rex trying to catch a pigeon doesn't mean she can push that wheelchair because she's still going to move that fast.
You're you and don't want to push your fat ass around.
Mm-hmm. But she's entitled. She's a princess. You're not. You're a fat phobic sociopath.
Thank you, John Jones, who says she sees illegals as ethnic food.
Then I talked to someone else who has also experienced something very similar. And you know what? Enough is enough.
You're going to lose weight?
Ever says she is her community. I talked to some of the flab rolls and they agreed.
Ever had a bad experience with SeaTac, we would love for you to come out and be part of the protest. Let's show them that they cannot treat people like this.
Who's going to push you out there, Tubby?
Her protest was standing by the door of the sign, and every now and then some fat person got the photo taken with her. That was the entire protest, by the way.
Do you remember I forget which protest it was, but where they had all the fat chicks in the wheelchairs?
Yeah, the armored division.
Armored division, yes. Wolfgang, thank you. She could eat the illegals, not murder. Not murder, if not no paper. Fair. I mean,
yeah, I mean, people might miss them, but it'll be a mystery as to what monster ate them.
They cannot treat anyone like this, and they cannot treat fat people like this.
they can absolutely tell you they're not going to push you. They have to provide the accommodations. They don't have to push your fat ass.
When I first saw this, my thought was Marlon Brando in The Island of Dr. Moreau, where he's really corpulent, and they had all those like half animal, half man creatures carrying him on the little platform. I forget what they're called, but I was like, that's what she wants. She expects that. Like, you're effectively a slave for her at her whimsy because she can't or won't take care of herself. It's disgusting.
Thank you, Jiraiya. Fat networking, LOL. They put more effort into that. Well, they can do that from their seat.
Yeah, sadly.
I don't care that you're fat. I care that you're making it everybody else's problem.
Yep.
Go read the ADA, which is a piece of shit legislation anyway, though. They do not have to push your ass around. They have to have the wheelchair accessible. They wheelchairs for you to use. As you said, she probably has a scooter that hates that it was ever made.
Yep.
But they've accommodated you. You still have to do some of the work, fatty. Jesus Christ.
This is unacceptable and it's discrimination and will not be tolerated any longer. So if you want to be a part of this protest, DM me tonight, DM me tomorrow, but let's go ahead and make it happen.
I wish I was close enough to go to this protest.
Oh, yeah. The one protest she did, she was the only one there.
I would put some Vaseline under my nose, some Vicks Vapor Rub under my nose.
Yeah.
So that I didn't have to smell her.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just do everything I could to piss her off to try to get her to run after me.
For like 5 steps before she had a cardiac incident.
Yep.
We will be at SeaTac Airport Tuesday, February 4th. If you want to protest at SeaTac in solidarity with me, come on by. If you see me at SeaTac, please come up and say hello.
Oh, I wish I could have gone. I wish I could have gone.
No, don't worry. She'll do it again.
Stand in solidarity with us. SeaTac.
Stand?
Well, for 30 seconds anyway.
You even want other people to stand for you. That's how fucking lazy you are.
Well, they can't push her if they're sitting down. You can't daisy chain a bunch of electric scooters.
Thank you, Dangerous. I have a theory of why Kamala was so bad. She used some media training techniques, but reports say she wouldn't take instruction. It makes me think she assumes she knew better how to handle media. I think those are people who are trying to make sure they get jobs later and blaming it on her. Because I saw her team afterwards over on the Pod Save America podcast, and let me assure you, these people are fucking stupid. You can put a lot on Kamala. She's not a good candidate, but she seemed perfectly willing to run around and do. The only thing that I know that she refused to do was Joe Rogan. She did what they were telling her to do. Anyway.
Will be held accountable for their actions. We will not stand for this any longer.
You won't stand for nothing. Your knees will buckle.
If you've had an experience like this, please share it with me via DM or drop it in the comments.
This chick totally has a wiping stick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That bitch is way too big not to. All right. Yeah, push yourself, Tubby. And again, I don't care that you're fat. I care that you are an entitled shitbag who won't take care of yourself and then has the fucking balls to say other people don't care about your health.
The original videos, that third link.
Yeah.
I think we did watch it. I don't know if you remember it though, because I tend to block these kind of people out of my memory.
Well, just for the audience sake, I don't remember if I watched this or not. I did see the picture that's part of this post, which we will not show because she's in a bathing suit.
Yeah, sorry, it's the only one I could find.
A two-piece that had to be because one won't fit.
It says Eureka on it. It's a family tent.
All right. She's doing the voiceover thing. We'll just let it say it.
My ordeal
Oh, I do have it on screen, right? Okay.
at SeaTac Airport will shock you. This experience I'm about to share with you is yet another example of why employee sensitivity training, a demand outlined in the plus-size travel petition, is desperately needed.
Okay, just because you made a travel petition for fatties doesn't mean anybody has to do anything.
Oh, what? But Monkey, she lives in Seattle. She's entitled.
And she's clearly not pushing her own wheelchair here. You think some poor bastard was like, I'll do it.
It's probably one of her loser friends that didn't want to, and they were trying to make an employee do it just to show them how fat phobic they are.
She's filling the jetway. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been in a jetway, and that one looks a little thinner than some of the ones I've been in, but that is at least like 4 foot wide right there.
You should be able to walk two abreast in there, but
I'm a plus-size wheelchair user, and on a recent flight to the SeaTac
I'm a plus size wheelchair user.
yeah.
It's an identity, Jack.
Yeah.
It's a fucking identity.
Yep, everything is. How else would she be a protected class? How else is she going to be unique and special if she's not a protected class of people? Seriously, their entire life is centered around their mutable characteristics or immutable characteristics. She could lose weight, so, but she wants to be a big fat fatty, and that makes her special. That's what is special about her, not her ability to do anything, her intellectual capabilities, nothing, no artistic skill, just being a big fat ass and a pain in everybody's butt.
Jiraiya, thank you. The day I need strangers to handle me, I'm okay dying. I feel you.
Right? Thank you, Evolved Potato. It's not so good news. I might have to stop using Twitter to talk politics and wipe a lot of my old stuff. The combination of digital ID and their new hate speech laws that are so vague, and it being you're guilty if someone else takes offense. Nothing you do matters. Yeah, your country is really sinking into some totalitarian, scary places, man. You got to do what's best for you. Just be careful.
Control the language. You control everything.
Yeah. I don't blame you if they got to scrub a bunch of stuff, man. I totally get it. You stay safe out there. You're young. There's time to rebel later.
Yeah, we all got to do what we got to do. That's why me and Jack have conversations off screen sometimes. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
Back to Tubby.
recent flight to the SeaTac Airport. I requested wheelchair assistance, as I always do. When it came time,
I'm sorry. Oh, I thought it said something about SeaWorld. All right, never mind.
Airport. I requested wheelchair assistance, as I always do. When it came time for me to deplane,
you can walk.
Well, no, she requests wheelchair assistance, which means they're supposed to give her a wheelchair. They're not supposed to give her a goddamn escort. You are not supposed to be like wheeled around like a parade of a celebrity, which is what she wants. Selfish bitch.
She's walking off the plane though.
Oh yeah, she's standing in the protest video.
saw the employee who would be assisting me with my wheelchair waiting for me. in the entry of the jet bridge. As I approached her and she realized she'd be assisting me and not one of the smaller passengers, she started to walk away with the wheelchair while making comments about my size.
Based.
Right.
Even when I told her I really needed the chair and needed her to let me sit down in it.
I can see you walking, Tubby Tubby.
Yeah, they probably thought you don't really need this, but I call bullshit on this entire scenario. I think they showed up and were like, "Here's your wheelchair," and the lady just walked away.
She blatantly ignored me and kept walking. I was then forced to walk up one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop.
It's the Seattle airport, lady. Come on, really? It's not like you were in New York or Reagan Airport or any of the bigger airports. You weren't in Atlanta, okay? You weren't walking across from Terminal 1 all the way down to the far side. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, it's one of the longest jetways. It was like 30 feet. Shut up.
Yeah, jetways are not that long. Even the longest ones are not that long. It's not like she had to walk down the stairs, across the tarmac, back up some stairs into the airport. Okay.
By the time
I love the sad music. Wait.
one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop. By the time
in the arms of fatty.
Yeah, it's like there should be sad fat puppies or something.
she let me reach the wheelchair and sit down, my lips were white. My oxygen levels had dropped and I almost fainted. This was my first time flying without oxygen. This woman just
If you're so fat you need oxygen, you need to lose weight, you're going to die.
You don't even have.
It's tragic.
She doesn't have oxygen here.
Well, she was her first time not having the oxygen monkey.
She's walking down this just fine, and
well,
I mean,
carried away.
Yeah. Well, her lips ain't turning white. This is what I'm saying. If you need that wheelchair, you need to not use that wheelchair. You need to go for a walk, lady.
Assumed I could walk and would rather me do that. Instead of her having to push someone my size up the jet bridge, all the other attendants wheeled their passengers up the jet bridge, but my needs were disregarded.
You mean the cripples?
Yeah. Cripples that can't push their own wheelchairs. Look at that. She is all in that second seat.
She is, yeah.
This is discrimination. Nobody should be treated this way. Share your story at change.org.
Look at how she barely fits.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Plus size travel.
You know she reclines that seat.
God damn, man. And not even on purpose. She just leans back a little bit and the struts give out.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, fuck you, lady. Get up and walk. But it's a disability. Fat is not a disability. It makes life harder, but it is not a disability. Stop with that shit.
It's disgusting. You are not like somebody with cerebral palsy, okay? You made poor life choices, and not everybody in society does not owe you something because of your poor lifestyle.
Why won't this blow up bigger? We can play this one. I'm just not sure anybody's going to be able to tell what's going on. Because that's as big as it gets, Jack.
Oh. I think they'll be able to get the joke.
All right.
No, I dropped something.
You should probably mute it. Just read what's going on there. Sorry, I didn't realize there was music on there.
No, that's fine. I dropped something. And she's clearly trying to get him to hump her. And bro is just not getting it.
I get it. Where is it? I don't need help. Ow, my toe. Your toe? I need help. What happened? Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you okay? Yeah. Oh, I have a stomach ache.
This is what happens when we teach guys that you have to, what is it? Affirmative consent
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I have a stomach ache.
They done screwed up men and women, man.
Yeah. Stomach ache. Oh yeah. I could go to the store and get medicine. All right, let me get my clothes on. Let me go to the store and get you some medicine. Oh, for fuck's sake. Never mind. I thought your stomach hurt. No, I'm okay. Well, I need to get some medicine. I'm gonna do yoga. Oh, yoga? I got some yoga mats over here.
Yeah, this is what society has become.
You want to do yoga in the living room? No, I'm okay. Poor guy.
Jiraiya, thank you. Fat here bought an extra seat. The crew fist bumped me.
Yeah, see, they appreciate it when you don't make their lives miserable. If you're a fat person, just pay for the extra seat, okay? Think of it as a fat tax. You're larger than the normal. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being fat. Just be aware that you can impose problems on other people and act accordingly. Don't be a dickhead. If that bitch wasn't whining about having to I gotta walk, man. Well, that's on you, you know? Real quick, though. Thank you, asshole Wolfgang Deo. If she had a disability, then she would say she is fat as fuck. She'd be trying to lose weight. She'd be diagnosed with something. I have a disability, a few things wrong with me. Yet I hate people doing things for me since I like struggling. Everybody should like to be independent. You should aim for independence.
This lady, because we've seen her before, she does this on purpose. There's another one that does it too, who's a little bit taller than she is.
Yeah.
Has less of a pig nose. But both of them, they purposefully go onto airplanes to try to get a viral video of somebody mentioning that they're fat as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're fat. It's not healthy, but it's your life. Do you? I don't give a shit. It's when it's very much like the adult trans people. You want to throw on a dress and call yourself Sally? I don't give a shit. But it's nobody else's problem. It's yours.
Yeah, it's nobody's business but yours. You deal with it. You deal with all your own issues, all your own bills. Don't make it my problem.
Yeah, because they wouldn't push me. Push yourself, Tubby.
Yeah, you know who will push you to do better? The guard at the gulag you're going to end up at because you're a blight on society.
As long as you're not fucking with everybody. I used to hate those ones who would use the carts at Walmart because those are for people who are hurt.
Yeah.
And
they're not for big tubbos.
It's for them and old people. And I had the trifecta of an old guy with a broken leg and fat people on every one of my carts one day.
Yep, that sounds right.
And he came to me and like, why? Why are all these fat people allowed on? I'm like, I'm not allowed to kick them off, sir.
Yep, because then you're a monster.
Yep.
Even though there's somebody that actually needs it.
Yep. The worst one, though, is actually the ones who bring in their own. We had these two fucking fat chicks. And I don't know what kind of supercharged system they got, but these things went like 30 miles an hour through the store.
Yeah.
Fat should not move that fast without a car around it.
Right? It's like a speeding bullet of blubber.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was diesel powered. There's no other way they could move that fast. Those private ones, the ones that you can buy yourself, those things are fast as shit.
Oh, yeah. You can buy them on Amazon. They're like $4,000.
They're dangerous in those stores, though. There's a reason the other ones go so slow. It's so you don't kill people.
Yeah. You're going to run over some little kid.
Yep.
Then you turn your headlights on and be like, beep, beep, get out of the way.
All right. With Tubby out of the way, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so kind. Jack, anything you want to show out?
I'll probably throw a link in the chat. As always, thank you guys for the donations. Like Monkey said, it is greatly appreciated, and we appreciate seeing you guys night after night on here because we have a lot of fun doing the show.
Totally. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing this, Jack. Excuse me. Thank you, John Vance / Big Balls 2028. Oh, fuck. I forgot about that video. We'll have to catch that one tomorrow.
Big balls.
Big balls. They're digging into the past of all of these people.
It's so pathetic, dude.
They didn't do this shit with Biden's cabinet.
No, they didn't want to because a lot of them were former Obama, and that makes them saints because they worked with his glorious messiahness, Obama.
Rumble rant. The last one that's up there, but the chat stopped. Thank you, Dangerous. Whenever I see people complaining about the cost of groceries, generally I feel really sorry for them. When I see people like her make that complaint, I think smaller portions might be a good idea. No, sir. Smaller portions are 100% a good idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, people that size are usually on disability, so they're getting free government assistance. So you're paying for her 4 cases of eggs.
With her, I'm not sure. I know the other chick actually has a decent following. Look at the Slayton sisters, man. They just ripped off all their fans.
Yeah.
And we're getting government money.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of money for a lot of free stuff from the government you could get. And of course, if you're a social media influencer, you can make a lot of money. But thankfully, most of these people are really bad at money management. So they might be forced to eat healthier.
How fat do I have to get Social Security?
I don't know. Homer Simpson levels.
I mean, that might be worth it. I don't do much anyway.
I don't know, 350, 400 probably.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
I have faith in you, buddy. I think a couple trips to Golden Corral every week do you some good.
I feel like I'd have to do it every day for that level. All right.
It's about quantity.
Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for everything. You guys are awesome. We love you. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
There's a singity song in my heart. I bet that woman smells like a fart. Thank you, Jiraiya. What does it say? Pride, I'm just a big guy being aware for others. That's how you should be.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Good.
More people need to be.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.